This is a special edition of our Culinary Crusaders. This is for my mom. She's doing sort of a low-carb diet, and she goes to the store and she buys frozen California Pizza Kitchen cauliflower crusted pizzas. And Bill and I had run across a recipe for a cauliflower crust, which is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Cauliflower happens to be one of my favorite vegetables. And it just seemed like too much work. You've got to do all this preparation. So I found a recipe on a YouTube site. I believe it's Chef Bert. I'll have his link below in the notes. And so it's really easy. It just takes a little bit of, you have to give yourself some time to do some prep, but it's not difficult. So we just took a head of cauliflower, and he recommends that you grate the cauliflower flowerets on a box cutter, and he says look for your cauliflower to look sort of like Pop Rocks. Now traditionally what I've always seen is that folks are making cauliflower pizza crust. They're grating the cauliflower and then they're rolling it in paper towels or rolling it in regular towels to try to eke out the moisture, and I think they steam it first and then they try to roll out the moisture. So his preparation is to grate it and then put it into a dry pan. No oil, no butter, nothing. Don't cook it. And then on medium heat you just kind of keep stirring it around, and you can watch the water just start to evaporate off. You can see the steam. And you want to take it to a place where you really don't see any steam anymore and it's very, very dry. I have quite a bit of cauliflower in here, a little bit more than before, so it's going to take a few minutes. He says it takes about 10 minutes, but I found it took me about 20 or 30 minutes to really get the steam off. The thing you want to be careful of is that you keep it on a low heat and you keep stirring it around and trying to keep the cauliflower connected to the pan in, as much as you can. Just, keep moving it around. And then you're going to take a pound, I believe it's a cup, I'm sorry, not a pound, of a hard cheese. So he used Parmesan. I have some Romano here, but the hard cheese is the key. And then 1 egg, and I believe that that's all it is an egg, the cheese, and the cauliflower. Yes. And then you're going to bake it naked and then take it out and dress it and put it back in so your ingredients can be cooked. So you want to make sure you also cook any ingredients that aren't going to take very long ahead of time, like saute up any onions, bell peppers, and things like that. So we'll be back after we've done some of this. So I took about 12 minutes to cook the cauliflower. I wanted to show you that the cauliflower grating still has a lot of integrity. It didn't turn brown. There's still quite a bit of moisture in it. It's hard to get rid of all of the moisture. I did cook it a little bit longer last time, but we're going to try it this way. So you still want it to have the texture. You can see the steam still rolling up. And it didn't get brown, it didn't get soft. You want to make sure that it doesn't get soft. You don't want to cook it through. And then you want to let it sit and cool down for a few minutes. I'm going to then add eggs to it. You only need 1 egg, but we have some local farmers' eggs that are a little on the small side. So I'm going to put 2 eggs on it, and then we'll add the Parmesan, or in this case the Romano cheese. And I think we're going to make 2 smaller pizzas so Bill and I can have our own flavorings on it. You definitely want to put parchment paper down on your pan that you're going to use to cook your pizza crust. If you don't, the pizza crust is likely to stick to the pan, and this will save you that problem. And then some of my homemade tomato sauce mixed with some homemade tomato paste. That'll be our base. We're thinking that we're going to try something different and put a little bit of crushed garlic in the pizza crust. We've never done that before. We thought that might be good. And then we've got some vegetables that Bill's going to saute up, black olives, and then A co-worker and friend of mine, Patty Crawford, made a, has been going crazy smoking meats, and so she made a habanero sausage, summer type sausage. Anyway, Bill's going to slice that up and put it on his. I don't do hot. So we'll be back, and we'll kind of, once we get everything mixed together, we'll show you kind of how we push it out and get it in the oven. Okay, so I've mixed you put the grated cheese in, get it all mixed around. I've added the eggs. Ours is going to be a little bit more yellowish orange than probably what you're going to get with store-bought eggs. Local eggs tend to be very, the yolks are really prominent and orange. And then we decided we're going to just go ahead and do a oblong shape.
Old-fashioned
Shaped pizza crust. Now, I'm just going to look at the instructions. He does say to push the crust out sorry, I kind of got out of the picture, a 1/4 inch thick. So we've got quite a bit of cauliflower. Now, it's going to still look crumbly, and you're going to think there's no way that this is going to work. But the magic happens because you have the hard cheese. The last time I made this, I had Bill make a video. Oh, I didn't put the garlic in it. I had Bill take his video camera out and do a picture, take a picture of me lifting up the crust and shaking it. It gets all wobbly. And it stayed together, and when we ate it, it stayed together. We were gonna try this and make tacos out of it. Anyway, we'll be back. I'm just gonna finish this up and get it into a 400-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes. So once you take it out of the oven, you want to dress it and put it back in the oven. The thing that's amazing about this for me was it actually held up. If you do it in the right order, it holds up just like a pizza crust. It's check the link out below of the guy who we follow his recipe, and I also felt like it tasted like a crust. It didn't taste really cauliflowery. So now all we're going to do, we've got our toppings on here. We're going to put it back in the oven, and we're only cooking it long enough to get the cheese to melt on the top. This is definitely not a recipe for people who are milk sensitive, milk intolerant. So that should just be a few more minutes.
Okay, I'm about to dig in. It does not seem like I'm going to be able to pick it up. But I've had pizzas like that from the pizzeria. It's quite tasty. I'm just going to do an interesting thing here, move away the topping and taste the crust. It's really flavorful. It's very, was that Romano cheese? Mm-hmm. Hard cheese flavored. You don't get the veggie taste. You get some, it's just not all cauliflower. It's really good. So, I'm going to eat it. This is my feature in the film. Jerry did all the work. I stood by and said, hurry up.